My beloved child, there are moments in life that seem ordinary on the surface, yet carry a meaning far greater than anyone realizes. Today is one of those moments. Somewhere, someone special is smiling. Not because of a grand celebration. Not because everything in their life is perfect. And not because they suddenly received everything they ever wanted. Their smile comes from something much quieter. Something much deeper. And before this message reaches its end, you may begin to understand exactly why. For a moment, think about all the people you have crossed paths with. The conversations you barely remember. The kindness you offered without expecting anything back. The encouragement you gave when someone felt lost. The patience you showed when nobody else noticed. Most people underestimate the impact they have on others. They assume their words disappear. They assume their actions are forgotten. But that is rarely the truth. Sometimes a single sentence stays in someone's heart for years. Sometimes a simple act of understanding becomes a light during a difficult season. And sometimes, without realizing it, you become part of someone's reason to keep believing in better days. That is why this message is important. Because someone special has been thinking, reflecting, remembering. And the more they remember, the more their smile grows. What they remember is not perfection. It is authenticity. They remember moments when you were simply yourself. Moments that seemed small. Moments that felt ordinary. Yet those moments carried a meaning that became impossible to forget. Many people spend their lives trying to impress others. Trying to become someone different. Trying to wear a mask that earns approval. But the memories that last the longest are usually created by honesty. And that honesty is exactly what has remained in the heart of this person. As the day continues, they find themselves revisiting those memories. Not because they are trapped in the past. But because those memories remind them that genuine people still exist. That sincerity still exists. That hope still exists. And every time that thought returns, so does the smile. Now listen carefully. This next part matters more than you realize. There are people who bring noise into a room. And there are people who bring peace. The difference is enormous. Noise demands attention. Peace earns respect. Noise is remembered for a moment. Peace is remembered for a lifetime. Someone special has noticed the difference. They have noticed the way your presence can change an atmosphere. The way your energy can make difficult moments feel lighter. The way your words can create comfort when comfort seems impossible to find. That realization has been growing quietly. Day after day. Moment after moment. And today, for reasons even they struggle to explain, that realization feels stronger than ever. That is why they are smiling. Not because of a single event. Not because of a sudden surprise. But because they have come to appreciate something they once overlooked. The value of genuine connection. The value of kindness. The value of people who remain true to themselves. And as you continue listening, remember this. You do not always see the influence you have. You do not always hear the stories being told about your impact. You do not always witness the moments when someone thinks of you and feels grateful. Yet those moments exist. More often than you know. More deeply than you imagine. And today, somewhere in the middle of an ordinary day, someone special is smiling because they are remembering exactly that. The story is not finished. In fact, something even more meaningful is about to be revealed. And that is where we will continue. A quiet truth is beginning to reveal itself. What if I told you that the reason someone special is smiling today is even bigger than you imagined? Stay till the end. Because the next few moments may change the way you see yourself forever. There are times when people carry thoughts in silence. They do not announce them. They do not share them with everyone around them. They simply keep those thoughts close to their heart. And that is exactly what has been happening. Someone special has been reflecting on the impact you have had on their life. Not just recently. Not just for a few days. For much longer than you realize. The surprising part is that you may not even know it. Many people wait for recognition. Many people wait for proof that they matter. Many people wait for a sign that they made a difference. But some of the most important signs are invisible. Some of the most meaningful stories are never spoken out loud. And that brings us to something remarkable. Today, while thinking about their journey, this person found themselves remembering a moment connected to you. A moment that seemed ordinary at the time. A moment that could have easily been forgotten. Yet it stayed. It remained. And over time, it became one of those rare memories that still brings warmth whenever it returns. Don't skip. Because something important is unfolding. You see, life moves quickly. People come and go. Experiences fade. But meaningful memories are different. They survive. They stay alive long after the moment has passed. That is exactly why this smile exists today. It is not based on fantasy. It is not based on imagination. It is based on appreciation. Real appreciation. The kind that grows quietly. The kind that becomes stronger with time. The kind that suddenly appears one day and makes a person stop and think. And when they stopped today, they realized something surprising. Some of the happiest memories they carry have one thing in common. You were there. Maybe directly. Maybe indirectly. But your presence became part of those moments. And that realization created a feeling they could not ignore. A feeling that naturally turned into a smile. Now listen carefully. Because this may be the most powerful part so far. Most people spend their lives wondering whether they are enough. Whether they are valued. Whether they truly matter. Yet the answer often exists in places they never think to look. The answer exists in memories. The answer exists in lives they have touched. The answer exists in moments they helped create. And today, someone special is looking back and realizing that your influence reached farther than you ever imagined. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you. The biggest surprise is not that they are smiling. the biggest surprise is why they are smiling. They are smiling because they finally understand the value of authenticity. In a world full of distractions, they remember your sincerity. In a world full of noise, they remember your calmness. In a world where people often pretend to be someone else, they remember the moments when you simply chose to be yourself. That memory stands out. That memory shines. And every time it returns, it creates the same reaction. A smile. A feeling of gratitude. A reminder that genuine people still exist. Now imagine this. At the exact moment you are hearing these words, they may be thinking about lessons they learned because of your example. Lessons about patience. Lessons about kindness. Lessons about staying true to what matters most. Those lessons became part of their story. And because of that, your impact became part of their story too. Don't skip. Because there is still something more. The most meaningful realization has not been revealed yet. Sometimes people think that significance comes from huge achievements. But often, significance comes from consistency. From showing up. From remaining true to yourself. From being a source of positivity even when nobody is watching. Someone special has noticed that. They have noticed more than you think. And today, that awareness has reached a new level. That is why their smile feels different. That is why it feels stronger. That is why it refuses to disappear. Because today is not about remembering one single moment. It is about realizing the value of many moments combined. Moments that created trust. Moments that created respect. Moments that created appreciation. And when all those memories came together, one simple truth became impossible to ignore. You mattered more than you knew. Stay till the end. Because the next part contains the revelation that brings everything together. And when that moment arrives, the reason behind that smile will become clearer than ever before. An unexpected realization is about to change everything. Stay till the end. Because what you are about to hear is the missing piece of this entire story. Someone special is smiling today, but the reason goes deeper than appreciation. Deeper than memories. Deeper than simple gratitude. It comes from a realization that arrived quietly, yet carried extraordinary meaning. For a long time, they focused on what was missing. They focused on unanswered questions. They focused on things they wished had happened differently. Like many people, they spent their energy looking at what was absent instead of what was present. But something shifted. Something changed. And today, they found themselves looking at life through a completely different lens. Don't skip. Because this moment matters. As they reflected on the people who crossed their path, one thought continued returning again and again. Not every person leaves a lasting impression. Not every encounter becomes meaningful. Not every memory survives the passage of time. Yet some people become unforgettable without even trying. Some people create an impact simply by being who they are. And when that realization appeared, your presence immediately came to mind. That is why the smile appeared. Not suddenly. Not dramatically. but naturally. The kind of smile that arrives when someone finally understands something valuable. The kind of smile that appears when pieces of a puzzle finally fit together. The kind of smile that cannot be forced because it comes from genuine understanding. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you. Today, they recognized something they had overlooked before. The strongest connections are not always the loudest ones. The most meaningful influences are not always the most obvious. And the greatest impact often comes from moments that seemed small at the time. That thought stopped them in their tracks. Because when they looked back, they realized how many meaningful moments were connected by one common thread. Your presence. Your attitude. Your authenticity. Your willingness to remain yourself regardless of circumstances. Many people change depending on who is watching. Many people become different versions of themselves in different situations. But consistency is rare. Authenticity is rare. And rare things are remembered. That is exactly what happened. As these thoughts continued unfolding, another realization appeared. Perhaps the reason some memories remained so powerful was because they carried a feeling. Not a detail. Not a specific event. A feeling. And feelings are often stronger than facts. People forget conversations. People forget dates. People forget countless details. But they rarely forget how someone made them feel. Don't skip. Because the heart of this story is approaching. Someone special remembers how they felt around you. They remember encouragement. They remember sincerity. They remember moments that felt genuine. And when those feelings return today, something remarkable happened. They realized those memories still carried the same warmth. The same comfort. The same positivity. Even after time had passed. That realization became impossible to ignore. And suddenly, their smile grew even stronger. Now listen carefully. This next part may be the most surprising revelation yet. Many people spend years searching for inspiration. They look for role models. They look for examples. They look for reasons to believe that kindness and authenticity still matter. What they fail to realize is that inspiration often comes from ordinary people living ordinary lives. People who never intended to inspire anyone. People who simply chose to remain true to their values. People who quietly made a difference without seeking recognition. Today, someone special realized that one of those people was you. And that realization changed the way they viewed the past. It changed the way they viewed the present. And it may even change the way they view the future. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you. There is a reason this smile feels different. There is a reason this moment feels significant. There is a reason these memories refuse to fade. It is because they have finally understood something that many people never fully understand. The value of a person cannot always be measured by achievements. Sometimes it is measured by influence. By encouragement. By integrity. By the positive mark left on another person's journey. And today, that truth became clearer than ever before. As they looked back across countless memories, one conclusion continued shining brighter than all the others. Some people enter your life and leave a temporary impression. But a few leave a lasting one. A lasting influence. A lasting lesson. A lasting source of inspiration. That is why they are smiling today. Because they finally understand how much those things matter. And in the next part, the final realization will reveal why this smile may be connected to something even bigger than either of you expected. Stay with me. The most meaningful revelation is still ahead. The final piece of the story is finally here. Stay till the end. Because everything you have heard so far has been leading to this moment. Someone special is smiling today. Not because of luck. Not because of coincidence. Not because of a single memory. The reason is far more meaningful. And once you understand it, you may never look at yourself the same way again. Throughout life, people often underestimate the value they bring to others. They focus on their mistakes. They focus on their flaws. They focus on what they wish they had done differently. But today, someone special experienced a completely different perspective. Instead of focusing on what was missing, they focused on what remained. And what remained was powerful. The memories remained. The lessons remained. The inspiration remained. The positive influence remained. And when they looked closely, they realized something extraordinary. You had become part of that story. Don't skip. Because the most important realization is happening right now. As they reflected on everything they had learned, they discovered a truth that many people spend years trying to understand. The people who leave the greatest impact are not always the loudest voices. They are not always the most visible. They are not always the ones seeking attention. Often, they are simply the people who stay genuine. The people who stay kind. The people who stay true to themselves. That realization created a feeling of gratitude unlike anything they expected. A feeling that filled their heart. A feeling that transformed an ordinary day into a meaningful one. And that feeling became a smile. A real smile. A smile that came from understanding. A smile that came from appreciation. A smile that came from realizing that some people make life brighter simply by being themselves. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you. Now imagine this moment. Imagine someone sitting quietly. Thinking about everything life has taught them. Thinking about every challenge they have overcome. Thinking about every lesson they have learned. And then suddenly realizing that some of their strongest memories are connected by one common thread. The positive influence of someone they deeply respect. That realization changes everything. Because once you recognize true value, you cannot unsee it. Once you recognize genuine character, you cannot forget it. Once you recognize the impact someone has had on your journey, you carry that understanding with you forever. That is exactly what happened today. Someone special finally saw the full picture. And the full picture brought clarity. The full picture brought gratitude. The full picture brought a smile that refused to fade. Don't skip. Because we have reached the heart of this message. The reason someone special is smiling today is not because they suddenly discovered something new about you. It is because they finally understood something they had always known. They understood your value. They understood your influence. They understood the difference your presence made. Sometimes the biggest realizations do not arrive as dramatic moments. Sometimes they arrive quietly. They arrive during reflection. They arrive during gratitude. They arrive during ordinary moments that suddenly become extraordinary. That is what happened today. And that is why this smile feels so meaningful. Stay till the end. Because this final truth is for you. No matter where you are right now. No matter what challenges you have faced. No matter what doubts have crossed your mind. Never underestimate the positive impact you can have on another person's life. Never assume your kindness goes unnoticed. Never assume your sincerity is forgotten. Never assume your presence does not matter. Because sometimes the greatest proof appears in ways you never see. Sometimes it appears in memories. Sometimes it appears in gratitude. And sometimes it appears as a smile on the face of someone special. A smile created by appreciation. A smile created by respect. A smile created by the realization that genuine people are rare and unforgettable. And that brings us back to the title of this message. Someone special is smiling today. Here's why. They are smiling because they finally recognized the value of the positive influence that touched their journey. They are smiling because gratitude has replaced uncertainty. They are smiling because meaningful memories have reminded them of what truly matters. And they are smiling because some people leave a mark on the heart that time can never erase. That is the reason. That is the revelation. And that is why today, somewhere, someone special is smiling.